Xenoblade Chronicles X is without a doubt my favorite game of all time. The experiences I've had while playing this title are second to none, and I genuinely can't seem to find any reason to put another game above it. But why is that? After all, this game is nowhere near Nintendo's most popular release. Is that really for a good reason though? As you could probably surmise from the title of this video, I would even go as far as to still, even after all these years, consider this game to be heavily underrated. So today, I figured I'd take a look back, dig just a little deeper into Nintendo's massive and ever-growing library to uncover what I consider to be their most hidden gem, take a more critical look at the masterpiece that is Xenoblade Chronicles X. First released in 2015 for the Nintendo Wii U, yeah, really setting yourself up for success there, Xenoblade Chronicles X, developed by Monolith Soft, is the second installment in the Xenoblade franchise. Now, I say second somewhat loosely, as X tends to deviate from what fans of the series might know or be familiar with from games 1, 2, and 3, with an extremely heavy emphasis on open world and exploration as opposed to a more structured narrative that takes center stage. The story begins by showing us a battle between Earth and some mysterious alien forces on what appears to be a mission to wipe out the human race. In an attempt at self-preservation, humanity launches pod-like spaceships from every major city in a last-ditch effort to escape, only to have most of them completely wiped out. The remaining survivors, now drifting alone in space, need a new place to survive and call home. They end up crashing on the planet Mira, and 2 months later, we see the player wake up dazed and confused. From there, we create our own character and start the long journey of trying to preserve the last remains of human life. Okay, now, full transparency. I'd be lying if I said I consider this story to be one of the stronger elements of this game. It's not. And while that doesn't mean it's terrible by any means, it does become increasingly clear as you play this game, or if you played any other Xenoblade games for that matter, that X's story isn't at the forefront. Sure, it's simple and not the most in-depth, but it allows the player to give that much more attention to world building, small character moments, and truly feel the fruits of your labor when it comes to exploring this vast and dangerous world. And that's no exaggeration either. This game is massive. The sheer number of collectibles and landmarks that you can discover each time you play is sure to keep you coming back for more. From the get-go, Xenoblade opens up in such spectacular fashion that you just can't help but want to do everything all at once. Wondering how you reach a certain ledge or area, trying to climb every mountain you set your sights upon, or seeing wildlife roam the plains of Primordia or soar through the skies of Kuldros. This world, more than anything, is alive. It feels as though it's built in a way where the developers know exactly what you're thinking at all times and are actively trying to encourage you to push the game to its limits. Exploration for this game opens up tenfold once you unlock Skells, giant mechs that allow you to drive or fly around the terrain at high speeds. Even with this massive machinery though, the beauty of Xenoblade Chronicles X is never dulled, even for a second. I can't stress enough just how gorgeous this game is. I remember my first time experiencing the white sands of Sylvalum as the many stars and planets illuminated my path forward, or the colorful yet lively jungle of Noctilum. These areas, as mentioned previously, are brimming with life and really enforce the feeling and theme of being a visitor to this planet that we now attempt to call our home. What really brings this world and these atmospheres together though is the music. Composed by the ever so talented Hiroyuki Sawano, who's worked on projects like Attack on Titan and Kill la Kill, the soundtrack for Xenoblade Chronicles X is truly stunning. From uppity tracks like the theme for NLA to the more calm and subtle nature of Sylvalum's nighttime theme, these tracks are undoubtedly going to make you feel every single bit of the world around you. With Uncontrollable and the aforementioned Sylvalum night theme being a couple of my favorites. Seriously, if you're a fan of anime or just any JRPGs in general, I think you'll adore this soundtrack. Another aspect of this game that truly makes it feel like your own captivating experience is all the customization you're given. From designing and playing as our own OC to the various types of different armors, weapons, and art you can collect during your time playing, Xenoblade is your game to get lost in and experiment with. I love getting to test out which armors best suit my party or switching up my weapon class to better help with the many hostile beasts I'll encounter during my time exploring. These options truly feel endless, and with a huge cast of interchangeable party members, there's always a combo to best suit your needs. Now, as for the gameplay and combat, I've always loved combat in Xenoblade games, and X is really no different. As usual, you'll use different arts to find out how to best take down whatever monster you and your party happen to be fighting. While that seems simple enough, X does tend to take the system to a whole new level. I find that once you get the hang of the combat, it becomes something of a song and dance each time you enter it. Having to juggle decisions of which arts to use while keeping track of your team and each soul voice is sure to keep you on your toes. I'm a big fan of stuff like this personally, as it's always giving me something new to think about. In fact, there have been plenty of times where fights have come down to the wire simply because I wasn't coordinating with my team as much as I should have been. You have to be locked in for some of, if not all of these fights, and that's what I love so much about not just the combat, but how this game treats you as a whole. This world, while beautiful, is also dangerous, and the game won't hesitate to punish you and your team for getting a little too overzealous. Many of the wildlife that roam the planet can and often will make quick work of your team, so it's in your best interest to pick and choose your battles with precision or pay the price. As stated earlier, this is a game that encourages boundary breaking at every turn. You can truly churn out some insanely high damage combos once you understand the flow and know what you're doing. Combat being this fun also means that grinding isn't nearly as tedious as it probably could be in any other JRPG. Now, while I believe the combat itself is great, it definitely has a fairly high skill ceiling. Not only that, but in its original form, it isn't really explained all too well how the ins and outs really work. Like many other aspects of this game, it can take a little bit to get used to or just flat out understand. That, along with convoluted menus, HUDs, and some difficulty spikes, have the potential to scare off new players. This game, while amazing, really does stand out whenever it missteps, and it'd be dishonest to completely brush that off. When this game gets janky, it gets janky, and it definitely happens more than once. Now, even with all these flaws in mind, I don't believe they take away from the intended experience in any major way. This is a game that you will undoubtedly get swept up in, testing the boundaries for an extremely dense and fulfilling playthrough, exploring each and every corner of this massive open world as you carefully trek through the landscape, experiencing each song as they come and go, earning your first scale to traverse the skies, and respecting this world for all it has to offer. These things are all part of the Xenoblade Chronicles X experience. I believe this is the best of the best when it comes to what a JRPG has to offer, a game that seemingly went under the radar for many years until a recent resurgence with the release of the game's definitive edition on Nintendo Switch. I love Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I truly implore anyone who hasn't tried this series yet to give X a go. You won't be disappointed. At the end of the day, it's up to you to make this wonderful experience your own.